This is the Algebra Semester Exam Review for Unit 1, Topic 2, which is questions 10 through 14. On the final exam, you'll be given a list of formulas as seen below, so make sure that you know how to properly use these when you go through your exam review so that you can use them properly on the test. Question 10. Cami wishes to make bracelets for her friends. She buys a starter kit for $20 and it costs $3.75 in supplies for each bracelet she makes. She cannot spend more than $41.25 to make bracelets. Let B represent the number of bracelets that she can make. Which of the following inequalities could be solved to determine the maximum number of bracelets she can make? Well, we know she's going to spend $20. And we also know that she's going to spend $3.75 for every bracelet she makes. So if B is the bracelets, $3.75 times B. We know she can't spend more than $41.25. So if she's spending $20 and she's spending $3.75 times B, we're going to add these two together to get her total amount that she spends. And since she cannot spend more than $41.25, this amount that she's spending right here must be less than or equal to $41.25. So the answer to this question is going to be B. For question 11, let A and B represent two numbers such that A is greater than B. State whether each statement below is true or false and justify your answer. So if we look at A plus 8 is greater than B plus 8. If I take away 8 on both sides, I'm left with A is greater than B. So this is going to be true. And my justification for that is going to be the following. Subtracting the same number from both sides of the inequality does not change the direction of the inequality. It is also okay to pick two numbers for A and B and show that the statements are true or false based on those numbers. So you do have that as a tool as well. All right, for the next part, A minus 7 is greater than B minus 7. If we add 7 to both sides, we see that we still have A is greater than B. So this is also going to be true. And the justification is the following. Adding the same number to both sides of the inequality does not change the direction of the inequality. For the next one, we have negative 7a is greater than negative 7b. If we divide both sides by negative 7, we get a and b by itself because the negative 7's cancel out, but because we've divided by a negative number, we have to switch the sign. So now we get a is less than b, which means that this is false. And the justification is the following. Dividing each side of the inequality by a negative number means that the direction of the inequality must be changed. So this is what happened when we switched from a greater than symbol to a less than symbol, because we divided by a negative number. For this last one, we have a divided by negative 10 is less than b divided by negative 10. So if we multiplied both sides by negative 10, they'd cancel out, and we'd be left with a and b by itself, but again, because we're multiplying by a negative number, we must switch the sign. So we get a is greater than b, which is a true statement, and the justification is the following. Multiplying each side of the inequality by a negative number means that the direction of the inequality must be changed. So our inequality symbol changed, and we got a is greater than b, which is why it was true. Question 12. Mr. Flood needs to hire a plumber to fix a leak. The plumber charges a service fee of $50 to come out to the house and a rate of $100 per hour to fix the leak. If the plumber works any fraction of an hour, she will charge for only a portion of the $100. For example, if she works for half an hour, she will charge $50. If the plumber takes 2.7 hours to fix the leak, how much will Mr. Flood have to pay? Well, we know that it's going to be $100 per hour. And if the plumber's working for 2.7 hours, this is going to be $270. But we also know that the plumber charges a service fee of $50. So together, we're going to get a combined total of $320. So Mr. Flood will have to pay $320. Part B says, Mr. Flood hopes to spend at most $600 to fix the leak. Let H represent the number of hours required to fix the leak. Write an inequality that models this situation. Well, we know that Mr. Flood's going to be spending $50 for the service fee and $100 per hour, so times H, to actually fix the leak. He wants to spend at most $600, meaning that this total amount right here has got to be less than or equal to $600. So part C asks us to solve the inequality. So if we have 50 plus 100H is less than or equal to 600, we can subtract 50 on both sides to get 100H is less than or equal to 550. And then we need to divide by 100, and that's going to get us H is less than or equal to 5.5. Part D asks us to graph the solutions to the inequality on the number line below. The domain of the variable is all positive real numbers. So that means it stops at 0, not including 0. Well, we know that 5.5 is our starting point, and it can equal that because H is less than or equal to 5.5. So we're going to have everything smaller than 5.5 or equal to 5.5 all the way down to 0, but not actually including 0. And this is going to be our number line. Finally, we're asked, what is the meaning of our solution in the context of the problem? Well, in order for Mr. Flood to pay $600 at most, the plumber can spend no more than 5.5 hours fixing the leak. So the meaning of our solution is that in order for Mr. Flood to pay $600 at most, the plumber can spend no more than 5.5 hours fixing the leak. Question 13. Below is the graphical solution to an inequality. Which of the following inequalities has the solution graphed above? Well, first of all, let's figure out what our graph is. We know it's 2, and it's all values less than 2, but because it's an open circle, it doesn't actually include 2. So our inequality is x is less than 2. So we're going to look at A, B, and C and see which one, when solved, gives us x is less than 2. So let's start with A. Negative 3x is greater than 6. Well, to get x by itself, we're going to divide both sides by negative 3. And when we divide by a negative number, the sign switches, so we have x is less than negative 2. That does not work. For B, we have negative 4x minus 9 is greater than negative 17. I'm going to add 9 to both sides because I want to get x by itself. That's going to leave me with negative 4x is greater than negative 8. I'm going to divide both sides by negative 4, and because I divided by a negative number, my sign is going to switch, and I'm going to get negative 8 divided by negative 4 is 2, so I'm going to get x is less than 2. So I believe that works, but we always want to try all of our solutions in case we made a mistake. So we have 2x plus 10 is less than or equal to 14. I'm going to subtract 10 on both sides and get 2x is less than or equal to 4. I'm going to then divide by 2, and I'm going to get x is less than or equal to 2. That doesn't work, so I know my answer is B. A good test-taking strategy as well is if you know that this is an open circle, so you know that it can't be or equal to, you could eliminate C right away because this is less than or equal to. So no matter what the numbers are, you know it's not the right inequality sign. And then you'd be guessing between 2 instead of 3 choices. 14. Kendall has $88 in her piggy bank. She loves Young Teen magazine and starts spending $3.75 per week to buy it. How much money will she have left after 5 weeks of buying the magazine? Well, she's going to be spending $3.75 for 5 weeks, so times 5, which is going to be $18.75. So that's how much money she's going to spend buying the magazine. If she has $88 in her piggy bank and she spends $18.75 on the magazine, she's going to have left over $69.25. So she will have $69.25 left after 5 weeks. Part B says Kendall needs to make sure that she has at least $25 left in her piggy bank to buy a present for her sister's birthday. Let W represent the number of weeks that she has bought Young Teen magazine. First, they want us to write an inequality, and then they want us to solve it to determine the number of weeks that Kendall can buy Young Teen magazine and still have enough money left to buy her sister a birthday present. So let's first start with the inequality. I know I'm starting with $88 in her piggy bank, and I am taking away from that $3.75 for every week that she buys the magazine. This is the amount of money that she has left in her bank account. So she started with 88, she's taking this away, but we want to make sure that she still has at least $25 left. So this amount of money needs to be greater than or equal to 25 in order for her to buy her sister a present. So in order to solve this inequality, we're going to take away 88 first. That's going to leave us with negative 3.75W, which is greater than or equal to negative 63. I'm then going to divide both sides by negative 3.75. And W is then going to be less than or equal to, because I'm dividing by negative numbers, so I need to switch the sign, and it's going to be 16.8. The question, though, asks how many weeks can she buy the Young Teen magazine? She can't buy it for 16.8 weeks. It's got to be a whole number. But we can't round up to 17 because she won't have enough money. We can see that by doing 88 minus 3.75 times 17 is going to give us 88 minus 63.75, and 88 minus this number is going to be $24.25. She doesn't have enough money to buy her sister a birthday present if she goes for 17 weeks. So we need to round down to 16 weeks. So Kendall can buy Young Teen magazine for 16 weeks at most. And this is the end of Unit 1, Topic 2 of the Algebra Semester Exam Review.